Okay, so I thought that I would give an update and just like some random thoughts on that hawk that's screaming in my video. On the last few pro rodeos I've been to and how I think things are going. Just kind of like mental stuff because I usually give like an after run explanation or whatever, and I haven't been doing that. I just think that's so boring. So this is for all the people that even care, if anyone cares. If you don't follow me, my name is Courtney Moose and I'm running barrels and I teach clinics and all the things. But this year I decided that I was going to pro rodeo a little bit on a gelding that I've helped train and season. And so we're just enjoying the hauling process and getting to know the races or the rodeos around this area. I had pro rodeoed before, but it was in the Turquoise Circuit and the Texas Circuit. So I'm still living in Texas, but I'm very east, and so I am actually getting to go everywhere: southeastern Texas, up to Oklahoma. Like it's been fun. So I've been to 5 pro rodeos in the last month. The first one was Belton, Texas, and then I went to Lake Charles, Louisiana, and then I went to Jackson, Mississippi, and then I went to McAllister, Oklahoma. And I just finished a couple days ago at, oh my gosh, Bryan, Texas. And so several of the rodeos I was like 4 or 5 tenths out of placing. And I could see where that time was. You know what I could see like, oh, that was a pretty good mistake there. Had I known that setup, I might have helped my horse a little more. And that was just like a rookie thing that I did. And some places were just so freaking tough. You know, these are building rodeos in Texas, and the southeastern area are just crazy tough right now. I mean, everywhere you go is a knife fight, and there's just not an easy rodeo in Texas or Louisiana or Oklahoma. You know, like we just live in a tough area. But let me tell you that I got my ass smoked down this past week in Bryan. I mean, smoked. I was a second and a half off the winner. I mean, a second out of placing. I didn't have a terrible run. I had a bobble at the third barrel where he got a little short and ran out of air, and I had to stay with my outside rein to get by it. And it definitely cost me like 3/10 of a second, maybe half a second, but not enough to even get close to placing either way. And I realized that never has my horse been incredibly fast on standard patterns, and rodeos are not going to be any different. He just like literally has the lung capacity of a smoker, and despite the Lasix and any sort of like bronchial dilator you can give him, like he literally just does not like the big patterns. And so it's not an indoor outdoor thing, because it's just literally the size of the pattern that really bothers him. So I'm hoping I'm not making you guys seasick. I'm swinging on my hammock. But so that's something that I've learned, that I'm probably going to stay away from standard patterns. I try to do that anyways, like at jackpots, like I know I'm going to get smoked. And so it's no different rodeoing. I thought maybe there would be a difference in the ground because he handles ground so dang good. And so I thought where other girls might be struggling to stand up on rodeo grounds, even though my horse is not as fast on standards, I feel like we'll have an advantage there. But here's the thing. I've been to these 5 rodeos. These are man-made buildings, which means they're basketball courts or some sort of coliseum, before they decided to haul dirt in and have us run on it. Okay, so typically the ground sucks at these. Let me tell you that these committees have this ground so far this year so dang good that it's no different than a jackpot. So I have a horse that handles all sorts of rodeo ground and crappy ground, and that's going to be an advantage for me, has gone out the window. It is not so much an advantage, at least not into this point. Like I said, I've only entered 5 rodeos and there's a lot of year left, but the committees have done such an amazing job. All but Jackson has drug every 5. And I mean, I've seen judges go back and make tractor drivers like re-drag the arena because they left like 5 footprints. I mean, they're trying so dang hard. So that advantage went out the window, and I'm sure it does benefit me in some way. However, it's not making me any faster. And so we're going to stay away from standard patterns, and that's just something that I'm learning. These 5 rodeos, I've learned that I probably won't go back to Jackson without a left-handed horse, and that I didn't necessarily like how quickly I had to stop at McAlester, Oklahoma, because I don't have like a great stopper, and so you would have had to run through the timer and like really get on the brakes, and I hit the first barrel there, so I kind of was able to cruise the rest of the run. But I remember thinking, I don't know that I could have made myself like gung-ho it through that timer and just prayed not to hit the gate. So I probably would not go back there unless he just gets really, really good at running to close gates this summer sometime. So far out of the rodeos that I've entered, probably won't go back to Jackson unless I'm on a left-handed horse. Nothing against Jackson, just wasn't my setup. And then McAlester, you know, probably not. Like, I loved that. I actually really liked that place, but it's just like probably won't be first on my list next year. If there's something else to go to, I probably will. I liked Brian. I liked everything about it, but like, it's just so dang big, and he's just not a standard pattern horse. So I'm learning this year, and I would encourage anybody who is wanting to rodeo to just go and find out like what your horse likes and doesn't like, so that when, like, say you're running 3D times right now, and you're like, well, I don't want to go buy my permit and go haul unless I'm running 1D times. I would encourage you to do it anyway. Find out what your horse likes, what he doesn't like, the places you like and you don't like, so that when you've got one that you can place on, you're not rookieing it out like I am at these rodeos. I've never been to any of these places before. I did not know that Jackson probably wasn't going to fit me. I did not know that McAlester was probably not going to fit me. I did not know that Brian was going to be too big. I dedicated a whole year to basically losing and just finding out what my horse likes, what he doesn't like, so that next year when we know these setups, we have that advantage of knowing, we know where we need to put our money and where we don't. And I'm not just putting runs on my horse to put runs on him. And so, like, you're gonna get a winner. If you don't give up in this game, you're gonna get a winner. And I would encourage you to do the losing and get it out of the way, because you're gonna do the losing. You're gonna pay your dues. I would rather pay my dues on one that you're gonna have to do it at some point. So like, I really, really believe that Spencer can go place at these pro rodeos. I think that we're gonna need to know what we're walking into. I think it's gonna need to be his setup. And that's okay. He's 14 or 15, and so we're getting older. I'm gonna find out right now, so that next year when we come back, we have that advantage and we feel really comfortable where we are, and we feel like we've gone to the arenas that best suit him and he's not running tired or anything like that. Find out now. So when you get that winner, you're not putting runs on him that you necessarily don't need to put on him because it's not their setup. Anyways, that's just where I'm at mentally right now. I'm having fun, and I'm treating this as like a learning experience and finding out what rodeos around here I really like. I know where I really like in Arizona. I know where I really like in New Mexico and in West Texas. I know what I don't like out of a couple races here, that I actually love all the rodeos and I would go back, but maybe on different horses. And so if you are just wanting to rodeo here in the next couple years and you're wanting to get to know some of these arenas, I did notice that I started this YouTube channel, or YouTube series really. I've had the channel forever. Because when I was doing research on these rodeos, some of the videos were like 11 or 12 years old, because most people are using TikTok. But I feel like YouTube is still like, you can go and search exactly what you want to see. And so I'm just really trying to like update and I guess put new videos out there of these arenas, because so many of them, the ground conditions have changed over the last 12 to 14 years. Like, they've gotten so much better. The committees are different. They're trying harder. They're using better equipment. So I know I've been told, like, several rodeos, like, don't go there, the ground sucks. And then the ground's been excellent. And it's just because there's not been any updates on it, like social media updates on how great the ground has gotten. And so that's what I'm doing here. So if you would like to subscribe and follow along to these rodeos, I try not to do a lot of talking in my videos. I do take my family sometimes. I do some snapshots of different overnight places that I'm staying, and sometimes me and my kids go do fun things, so that if you have family, I can kind of show you the fun places that you can go on the road. And I always have my run, or at least a shot of the arena, and I don't do a lot of talking, but it's just like a very quick video so that people can see where they might want to go if you're thinking about rodeoing. So if you'll subscribe, I will take you with me all year. I'm going to 4 to 5 pro rodeos a month, and maybe that will help you guys out. Anyways, I hope you enjoyed this very long video of me ranting. I'm sure that nobody will watch it, but if anything, it's good for me to look back on it next year.